system monitoring. Uh, so we had seen all these, process overview, etc. SM51 servers, the number of users logged in, gateway server, etc. So we had seen update. Now today we'll see what is batch input, SM35. See, SM35 is a utility given by SAP, wherein what you can do is you can enter the data as it is available in the screen format. Okay. Uh, what I'll do is I'll log on to that server and then show it to you what it is. See, this connection you can use. See, batch input in the sense, for example, I will tell you MN say 01. This is a transaction code for say material code. You are creating a new material code. Okay, and there you have to enter the material number, the industry sector, the material type, etc. Okay. So for this, if you're doing that, now what happens is, let us say for creation of one material, okay, you will be able to do it. But let us say you have got 5,000 materials which you need to create. Okay. So in that case, what you have to do is there is something called batch input recording. Okay. And so these are the different screens which are there, etc. Like basic. So basically all these screens you need to populate with some the actual data which you have. So this coming back here, what this facility does is there is a button called recording. So this entire recording is not done by basis, but it is done by the functional team. Like for example, I don't know all the fields from here, but generally I know that okay, these are the field for creation of a material master. All these fields are required. For example, unit of measure, what is the old material number, division, product, and so on, and everything related to the material. So that screen that is recorded by the functional team, and then that is used to upload the data from the batch file. Batch file in the sense it could be an Excel file or it could be a text file. So using that they upload the data in such a way that this master record is created. See, creation of one record is okay, but let us say you want to create 5,000 records, and you want to automate that, or for example, in the finance module, what happens is there are a lot of expenses to be booked or a lot of payments to be made. So why should a person use his time to undo everything? You know the exact fields that need to be populated. So what you can do is you can that data is available in the Excel format or any text format. So you can use that file to upload it into SAP. So that is again done with the help of the functional team only. Our job is just to see that whether any batch input sessions have been failing or if there is some problem there. Only then only we need to come here. Otherwise, this recording part is done by the functional team only. They manage the entire thing. For us, we come here only if they are facing some problems or something. If it is not getting processed, it has got stuck, or that kind of a thing. So only the troubleshooting or the management part, it will come here. So this recording button is there, wherein you use this when you click on that recording, It will ask you the, you can give recording, that recording name, some recording name, whatever you would like to give. And here you will give the transaction code. Transaction code in this is, now I have given, for example, MM01. Okay, if you look into this status, you will come to know what is the transaction code that I have given. For example, I have given MM01. Okay, that is the transaction code which I have given. So here you will give the transaction code. So this program, what it will do is, it will take you through the entire this thing. I will open another session here. Say SM35. Okay. Recording. It's a new recording. Okay. Say MM01. I'll just start recording. So it will come to this screen. Get it? See, this was my earlier screen. This screen. If I go back on this, it will show you that screen only. Okay. So what it does is, you will enter everything here, then it will start recording whatever views you want to select, etc. So this is the way the recording is done. Okay. So once this recording is done, then the corresponding field data, whatever is to be populated, that is taken up from a Excel sheet or a flat file, and then that gets uploaded. Okay. So this becomes easy for the end user. This is used mostly by the finance team or the materials team or the sales and distribution team to upload fixed kind of a data in the screen format. And there are options where you can disable the screens which are being displayed when the data is getting uploaded. So that is the functionality of this. Now the next code is SM58. That is to check whether there are any transactional RFCs. Transactional RFCs means across application servers or across servers. If any RFCs are any you can see the connections in this particular this thing, if they are failing or if there is some error or something like that. So that is what this transaction code is used for, SM58. Then now from here, the entire this particular option, performance, will take care of the workload performance, the setup and the buffers, the operating system, the database, and other exceptions. Now in the performance, you have got something called the statistics records. Okay. So here it can ST03N, it will show you what are the let's go and just see what is ST03N. So let us go through the menu, tools, administration, performance. Okay, performance, you have got workload, setup, operating system, database, and exceptions. So in this ST03N, so it will show you all the statistics of the, basically it will tell you the performance of the system, how it is performing, etc. So here this is their server which is there. So it will show you what is the status. This is day wise, this is week wise, and this is month wise. See, this is showing old data because this system is copied from some other system, so that performance data has also got copied. But you need to delete this, and then the latest data will get populated. Okay. So here you will come to know how your system is performing on a month-to-month basis, or a weekly basis, and on a day-to-day basis. So if you click on this, it will show you all those details. Now if that data is not available, it may not come up here. Unknown period type, so it's not there. So that because this performance data it is available, it is residing on the operating system, so that's why it is not showing here. Okay, so for monitoring performance, you need to come here and then check what is whether there are any issues here and so on. Okay, this is in detail business transaction analysis. Here, if you run this particular transaction code, it will show you uh, which user has used which transaction code from which client, how much response time was there, etc. So all those details are coming from here. No, it shows there is no transactional, there is no historical data, but in the production system you will find lot of data here. So you will come to know which user, what is the response time, etc. Which work process, how much, where where there is a performance issue, that it will show it to you here itself. Okay, for example, database request time, etc., etc. Okay, so these are all statistical records which are available here. Last minute load in the sense, just it's the live kind of a thing, so what was the last minute load, etc. If you want to see that, you can see it here. You want to see the load history, previous history, whatever it is, that you can see here. BI is in case you are also connected to the BI, the business information server, then it comes here. This is related to the database related, any issues is there and so on, so it will come up here. So if you look at this now, say delete all money data, that means if you want to delete all this monitoring data, you can delete from here. So depending on your requirement, you can decide what is not required and what is required. So as per that, you can delete the monitoring data. These are different, for example, the retention periods, for how long you want to retain the data on the because everything is lying on the operating system level. So for how long you would like to keep the data, etc. So those values you can keep it here. Reorganization, basically, old data gets deleted, so that's why they have mentioned it as the same. So there are many options in this. So since this is a test system, everything may not work, but it is available here. So different kinds of basically, again, it is coming back to for how long you want to aggregate it for every, whether it is you can see here that whether it is for 7 days or whether it is weekly or monthly and so on. So you, by default, no one touches this, but if you would like to, the basically this is nothing but the parameters depending on which the data gets collected. So if you see, there is something called, like I was telling you, there is something called a SAP OS call, which was there earlier, which is the agent which runs on the operating system level. Now there is something called a host agent, which will take care of collecting the data at the OS level. So this particular area now, this is for, you want to configure something, then you can come here and configure. So these are different collectors which are there. So those parameters you can check or uncheck here as per your requirement. But by default, there are many which are already there. This is for specific T codes you would like to monitor something, then you can give those T codes here. These are the different, see, these are all the statistics related parameters. Okay, you want to modify them, then you can modify them here. For example, this particular file is related to the, see, at the operating system level, this stat.dat or a stat.dat, these are the operating system level files which are created. Okay, these are again different parameters which are there. So it depends on what kind of statistics you require. This was for the local. If you would like to have a global look at the this thing, global view of for all the servers, then you run the transaction code st03g. Okay, this is for the global system parameter. It is the same thing, but it will take into consideration your entire system. Okay, so this used for global analysis of your system workload. Okay, so this we saw in detail. So these we saw all the different options which are available. That time, since I didn't have the system now, so I had taken the screenshots. But since now we have the system, then we can do it. For example, we saw, what is the statistics records. This actually gives you, who are the users who logged in and what was the transaction code they used, etc. Okay. Functional trace. If you want to set up a functional trace, in the sense, suppose some user has logged in and you would like to uh, check what he is doing, or what are tables he is accessing, etc. So you can use this functional trace to analyze what has gone wrong or so on. So let's take this transaction code. See, we had come to this when we were analyzing the workload analysis. Okay, so if I run this, I will get the same this thing. So it is all the short for getting the workload is STAD. You can remember this code STAD, STAD. Okay, so it will display uh, what is happening on the system, who is accessing, from which server, what is the program name, what is the transaction, etc. Okay, this is the trace. If you would like to set up a trace, then you can analyze this. You can start and stop the trace, and you can have a look at the log. You could have multiple systems. You could be running the trace on a particular application server or so on. So you can select on which system you want to start the trace. These are the display options. You want to see, you want to have a SQL trace or a NQ trace, RFC trace, buffer trace. So there are here you can set it off, turn on and off. Okay, and then you can tell the user to log on, and then you can later on check the log. Okay, so this is from here you can once the trace is started, you need to stop it also, because you may not be able to read the trace file in case the trace is active. If it is in a write mode, then you may not be able to read it. So you will have to deactivate the trace and then read it here. Okay, so that is for the functional trace, STAD trace, STAT trace. Okay. Now this ST07N, this will show you the user distribution. Okay. User distribution in the sense how is your system loaded vis-a-vis the number of users. Okay, so here you can see that number of users who are logged in are 2, active users are 2, in work process one person is in the work process, and so on. Now there are different options which are available here. Okay, you can if you want to check the SAP buffer. So there are different SAP buffers. One is a program buffer, generic, single, CUA, and the total. So these are basically the parameters which are available, the instance parameters which are available in the system. So in case you need to tune those parameters, then you have to have a look at these. And then there is a distribution of the application. Basis components is there, cross application. So from here you will come to know which application is consuming lot of this buffer. Okay, this particular SAP buffer. Now in this you will find that basis components is consuming the maximum. So you need to check why basis components is taking up so much of resources. Okay, you can click on this to get more details. So this is related to basis related all those this thing. So if you want to go, let us say middleware it says. So we'll go. You can drill down, then you can check why it is taking so much time. Okay. So this way you can drill down and come to a conclusion why it is taking why there is a more workload on a particular application. So you have got the facility to also sort this data. For example, now this was the topmost. Then you have about Java. Then you have customer enhancements like that. So this is basically an analysis tool which will give you, which will narrow down your troubleshooting, and then it will help you to basically modify your instance parameters, or then escalate the issue to your infra team in case there is some hardware issue. Then if you click on DB accesses, then it will show you which of the processes are going into a sequential read. Okay, this is a direct read, this is a sequential read. How the database changes have taken place, the number of calls to the DB, the number of rows that have been accessed. So you will find that, okay, basis, because mostly we are using the system, so it is all related to basis. Another thing is, at the back end, everyone is using the database, so you will always find that it comes under basis components. It will not come under logistic and so on, because back end the database is used and that comes under basis components. So again, basis components, you would like to see where it is consuming, where it is going into, say, a sequential mode, why it is taking such a long time. So you can analyze from here. Now we are doing monitoring, so is it taking time here? So those things you can check from here. Okay, so this was DB accesses. Then coming to DB memory. Why it is taking time? Oh, okay. So we'll sort this. Again, you'll find it is in basis components only. It's related to DB memory. Okay. Now this is sorted. So basically, why I'm showing you all this is because you can drill down and to a particular application component and then find out what is the issue in case you have any performance related issues. Okay. So depending on the component, tables or the indexes, so you can, depending on this, you can decide where to narrow down and then troubleshoot. Okay. Then response time, no evaluation data in monitor. Okay. So you want to check response time because you may have users who will call in and say, okay, we are not able to log in, or our, you know, the from moving from one screen to another, it is taking a lot of time. So in that case, you need to check here. Okay. Let us see if there is some data in this. I don't know whether it will be there. It will be there. Okay. This is for sorting. So here again you want to see the quantity structure, how many documents, how many items, etc. If you want to check, so you can come down and check here the number of documents which are created, etc. Now there are document headers, in the sense, let us say you have got one sales order and then you could have 50 items under it. So those details will get displayed here. Okay. Middleware, integration. Okay. So all these are available here. So this is in here for you want to see history, historical data, that you can do it. No analysis data. So basically what I want to say is this is used for checking how the users are distributed as per the applications. There are many application components. So and then you can use those, identify in which application component there is a performance issue, and then analyze accordingly, and also fine tune your instance parameters. Okay. Then we'll come to the different kinds of buffers, the setup buffers. Now ST02. Now see, when these are all different buffers which are already configured. If you click on current parameters, it will show you the different parameters here. Okay, ABAP, PXA. So all these parameters get defined when you are installing the system. Okay. So these are the different parameters. By default, it is getting created when you install the system. Okay. So there are many parameters which are available here, but you need to configure these later on depending on the performance issues. Okay. For example, this heap area dia, or heap area non-dia, heap area total. So these are all, dia means this is for dialogue work process, non-dialogue, no, this is for non-dialogue, that means for background work process. So these are the different parameters which are assigned when you install the system. Okay. So we'll go back here again to the first screen. So here you will find that uh, these are the different types of parameters which are available. Now the hit ratio in the sense the time taken to seek a particular component, okay, from the buffer. How is the hit ratio? If your hit ratio is not good, if it is say less than say 70-80, then you need to focus on that. So you need to either change the instance parameter or then have a look. For example, this table definition, the hit ratio is 97, so it is good. Okay. Or in case there is a lot of swapping, or then you need to have a look at your instance parameters. Okay. Then coming down here, so what you can do is that's why they are given the current parameters here. Okay. And then there is also a button which is given here to change the profile parameters. Suppose I click on this, it will take you to the place cursor on a valid. Okay. So you select this and click here. So you can always go there and check what is the parameter and you can change it. Okay, like that. For example, let's click here, it will come here. Like some time back we were discussing what is this is RZ11. This particular transaction code is RZ11. So this is RZ11. We were talking about RZ10 and RZ11. See, RZ11 will give you what are the details of this particular parameter in detail. For example, this is the documentation. Okay, you will see the documentation which is given here. As I said earlier, you don't have to remember all the parameters. You don't have to see few parameters with experience. You will know that this parameter is related to this, but all parameters you cannot memorize. So you need not memorize all those parameters. You can always come to RZ11 and check what it is. Okay, now this specifies the size of the resident table buffer. This buffer holds entries from tables which have been defined in the data dictionary with buffer type X. So here you will come to know the details. Who can make changes here? Customer can make changes here. This is the default value which is given here. How it is going to affect the other parameters. Suppose you make change to this particular parameter. What are the dependencies it is given here? So depending on this, you will have to make changes to the parameters. So you will get the details here of that particular parameter in RZ11. So when you click on this change, it will come and take you to that particular place. Okay, if you click on profile maintenance, it will take you to the profile maintenance. This is RZ10. Okay, this is RZ10. Okay, here as we discussed earlier, you could have you have default profile, you have instance profile. Now this is our instance profile. So you can click on this and then go to extended maintenance, and these are all the parameters which are defined here. So you want to make any changes, then you can just double click on this and make the changes. This is a button to use, make the changes. Okay, so and after that then you save it, copy and save it, so that the earlier profile is saved in the system and a new copy is created like that. So basically here you are having a look at the buffers, SAP buffers, whether they are properly functioning or not. In case there is some issue, it will come into it will be highlighted with red in red color in case there is swapping or something. That means your parameters are not properly tuned. Here there is another button called detail analysis menu. So you want to go into details of each. For example, program buffer. Then you can go down to the details. So here you can see the current parameters. So for program only 2 parameters are there, and you want to make changes to them. You can go to the profile maintenance and do it, or you can go here and see what are the dependencies, and then depending on that you can make the changes. Okay, so that is the way you can do the performance related changes to the instance profiles. Okay, so these are different parameters which you need to have a look at. So these are different parameters. So here the hit ratio is 100, so efficiency is good, so you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to make any changes. Screen, let us say on the screen someone is facing an issue. Let's say your hit ratio is very less, 60 or 70, then accordingly you make the changes here, and then decide. See, immediately it will not take effect. You will have to restart the server, and after 1 or 2 days then you will be able to check whether everything is running fine. And you have to remember what changes you have made, because maybe some changes you make, it may not work accordingly. Okay, This is a single server, so nothing here. This we have seen system logs, dump analysis we'll see. SQL trace, we'll come to this. Response time, we have seen all this. Dinesh, you have any questions? Hello.
Sir,
Hi.
sir, can you help me in downloading this GUI?
GUI, let me find a link because, or if I have something, if I have my own GUI, no, I'll send it to you. Otherwise, what you can do is you can log on to that server and work on it, no, for the time being. I will send you the GUI. This we have seen. Oh, we were here, no, ST02 buffers. Yeah. See, for example, in this screenshot, you will find that the system is swapping. So this you need to look at the program and CUI buffers, and you need to uh, make the necessary changes. Okay. So this is where you come and make the changes to the parameters. We were having a look at the detailed. You want to drill down and want to know the specific for the specific buffers. What is the status? So you can come down to detailed analysis.
Sir,
See, you go to Windows. Okay, Windows run. Can you do this? See, it is like this. You're able to see, Dinesh? Hello, Dinesh.
sir.
See, what you have to do is you have to do go to Windows R. You will come to this.
1 second, sir. I can't see your screen, sir.
No, it is there. It's gone. 1 minute. Let me see. Okay, you can see now. You can
Yes,
see.
sir.
Oh yeah. So in this, what you can do is you give this command in this window. When you say Windows open, na Windows and R,
Okay, I knew it, sir, how to open that.
then okay. So from this you give MSTSC. Then you say okay, na. Then it will go to this. Then you give the IP address and the port number which Ravi has given.
MS, sir, MS,
MSTSC. MSTSC.
okay, remote desktop connection.
Yeah,
I got
then you give this particular IPN colon uh, your
1 second, sir.
yeah, no problem.
49.
I'll
Can you
send it.
ping me that on WhatsApp?
Yeah, I will send you that in chat. 1 minute.
Or else you can send me on team chat too.
Yeah, I will send it on team chat. I've sent it.
Okay, sir. 1 second. Control C,
Okay.
Control V. Done it, sir.
Then you will have to give the login ID and then the password.
What's the login ID and password, sir?
Login ID and password. I'll send you that also.
Can you send me on WhatsApp? Okay, it's fine. What you have to.
I'll send it.
One second, sir. Okay. ACCAD. ACCAD. India 123, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yes, yes.
I got connect
Okay.
two IDs. Okay, sir.
So connect.
First one,
Connect one of them, no problem. Because I had logged in, so that may be open only. You can log in there. You can use it.
okay, sir. I got you, sir.
Okay.
I'll work on it.
Yeah. So if you want, what we'll do is now you are able to share the screen.
I'll try, sir.
Let me. I have to stop it. I have to stop sharing my screen or something. 1 minute. Okay, I'll stop sharing. Then you can share yours. Maybe because of that it is. Now I have stopped sharing.
We can't do it like we can do.
Now I can see. Now I can see.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. So you can just exit out of the screen.
Slash and right, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
The transition was terminated by the user exit.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. You can use the back arrow. Back arrow.
Back arrow.
You can use the back arrow. So in this, you can go to the tools.
Tools.
Yeah, yeah. So here you will find whatever is related to administration. You will have to have a look. Administration. Go to administration. So again, go to administration. So this is where we started. From here, you can go through everything.
I'll do it on
Okay.
from now, sir.
Yeah, yeah. So you go through it, and in case you have any issues, problems, then we can go through it.
Okay, sir. I'll look it on.
So what we'll do is, earlier lessons, whatever is there, you go through this. Then
I'll check
every day we
it.
will keep proceeding. Okay,
Okay, sir.
okay. Then you can minimize this. Minimize this. No, not this. Not your this thing. Your SAP GUI only on the right hand side. On the right hand side near SAP, minimize that. Yeah, minimize that. Now here on the screen you will find the SAP management console. Okay, on the left hand side on the top.
Okay, sir.
So you click on that, double click.
Okay.
So this we were talking about, you remember how to start and stop the systems. Okay. So this is the system which is running, which is in green. Okay, you that plus in ECC, you click on that plus sign. Again, you click on the plus sign. So these are, these on that process list, you can click on the plus sign top. Okay, double click process list. So these are the message server, the dispatcher, etc. So this server is running. Okay. So here here you can try out how to stop and start the server, etc. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'll do it.
So this is at the operating system level. What you need to do. Then you can open the Explorer here. Only thing is don't delete anything because this system is otherwise then again we'll have to make a copy and they will again charge us for something. So go to start and open Explorer.
Internet Explorer,
No,
right?
no, no. Not Internet Explorer. Explorer, File Explorer. Right click and Explorer. No, 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 no. Not this. Explorer we want. Don't click start. What I'm saying is don't click start. Just right click there. Huh? No, no. On the start, you just do a right click.
Okay.
Right click should not open this now. You are clicking, I think.
Okay, sorry, sir.
Right click.
Okay. Explore.
Explore. See now what they have done is they have installed SAP on this. Like now we are logged in as ECC ADM, right? Remember?
Yes,
ECC
sir.
is the system ID and ADM is the administrator. So ECC ADM is there. Now on the D drive, there is another D drive is there. Go
One
down,
second,
go
sir.
down.
Yeah.
Yeah, double click that. So here you will find it has been installed using Oracle, and so these are the file systems which are available. If you click on Oracle, then the database resides in that.
ECC.
Yeah, double click. That is your database system.
Okay.
So these are all the Oracle related files which are in this. So only thing what you have to take care is you have to ensure that you don't delete any of this, otherwise your system will stop. Okay.
Okay, sir. I'll not
So you
delete
take,
this.
go through everything what we learned till now. So,
Okay.
and uh, we can touch upon it on a regular basis. Like for example, OS level. I told you how it is.
Okay.
You love that
And one thing, sir. Sir, when is our next class?
tomorrow, no?
Tomorrow, sir.
No,
Okay, sir.
basically what you have to do is you have to say just open this SAP screen. This SAP minimize what you have minimized. Just open that. I just wanted to show you one thing below. SAP Easy Access. Yeah. Now go to System. On the top menu you will
System.
find System.
Yeah.
System. Yeah. Click on that. Then click on Status.
Status.
Yeah. So here you will come to know what is the system status, what is the login ID, etc. So these details, what I want you to do is go through all these options which are there,
Okay.
so that you will be, you will become familiar with the SAP system. Okay. So you
Okay,
do
sir.
it, and so tomorrow we are not going to meet. That's what you are saying, no?
Yes, sir. If you
Okay.
want, you can take class, but what I'm thinking is I'll get time to practice all things.
Okay. No problem. So you practice.